Hello students, I hope you all are fine. So we are going to start your second chapter of a grammar book, subject and the predicate. All sentences can be separated into two main parts, the subject and the predicate. Read the following sentence. She waters the plants regularly. So um, we separate a sentence in two parts. The first one is subject part, or we can say the naming part, and the second one is predicate, the doing part. So the doing part means what the person is doing, and the naming part is the name of the person, place, thing, or emotion. So she is the person, and the doing part, which tells something about the subject, is known as predicate. The subject is the part of a sentence about which something is said. So about she something is said, no? What is the plant? Who waters the plants regularly? She, right? And the predicate is that part of a sentence which tells something about the subject. Which tells something about the subject is known as predicate. It refers to the verb together with the rest of the sentence. It refers to the verb all together with rest of the sentence, which is followed by the predicate part. Subject or predicate may have only one word or a group of words. Subject and predicate only carried one word or a group of words. This shop, subject, opens at 10 o'clock. Predicate. We, subject, could not hear their voice. Predicate. My uncle, subject, bought a new car last week. Predicate. They, subject, are our neighbors. Predicate. The tops of the mountains, subject, were covered with snow. Predicate. So, sometimes the subject is placed at the end of the sentence. Sometimes it just placed at the end of the sentence. For example, here comes the bus. So the bus is the subject, the name, place of the thing, or we can say place of the vehicle. Here comes predicate. So it tells something about the subject. That's why the here comes is a predicate. But usually subject comes before the predicate, but in some cases the subject comes after the predicate. And an imperative sentence does not have its own subject. It remained understood in these types of sentences. For example, thank you. So I is considered as a subject before thank you as a subject, and open the window, you is considered as a subject. So it is understood that we can add the pronouns after the subject in an imperative sentence. Okay, now exercise. Look at the sentences below and separate the subject and the predicate. So we have to separate the subject and the predicate from these sentences. You have to write here the subject part and the predicate part. I'll just underline the subject part, and rest of the part of the sentence will be a predicate part. So it will be understood to you that the underlined part will be a subject part and the rest of the part will be a predicate part. Okay. First is, these students are very intelligent. These students. The peacock is a colorful bird. The peacock. All the students sang the national anthem. All the students. The computer is a very useful machine. The computer. Wireless communication is a great scientific invention. Wireless communication. The director of the zoo showed us two newborn tiger cubs. The director of the zoo. The director only. Sunshine lighted up the mountainside. Sunshine. The Taj Mahal is one of the seven wonders of the world. The Taj Mahal. Success comes to those who work hard for it. Success. Every man and every woman present clapped for the home team. Every man and every woman. Okay, students? Now, B is add subjects to the following predicates to make complete sentences. Dash like to play football. Rohan like to play football. Sorry, they like to play football. Is an eminent advocate. Mr. Nanda was alone in her car. She is my favorite fruit, mango. Okay, students. Now, this is the chapter for you today. I hope you understand the subject and the predicate parts of the sentences. Okay, thank you.